up, guys? We are out today, just graduated, so it's time to go catch some bluefin. We're out on the Grande on a full day offshore 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. trip, and we're looking for those big bluefin models like 40 to 60, 20 to 30, and then upwards of 100. So all we're going to be using today, setups like these here. We got a Avid here with 30 pound to 50 pound braid, and we're fishing circle hooks on fly line baits. So circle hook there. You can go bigger circle hooks or not. We'll let you know at the end of the day how we do and what's getting bit and what's not. So we'll see you out there. Hopefully we get some fish. We're just leaving San Diego Harbor right now. Weather looks nice. It's not supposed to be too big, so catch you later.
Here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him. Inside and outside, blue his house with a blue little window and a blue Corvette, and everything is blue for him and himself and everybody around, cause he ain't got nobody to listen. I'm blue, I've been deed, I've been died, 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 I've been deed, I've been died.
What's up, guys? All right, so we got back. Today's Wednesday. We fished Monday. We let these guys chill for like a day and a half on ice. This is our big fish here. You can see how big this freaking thing is. We just weighed it on the scale, so it's plugged, meaning the tail's cut off, the guts are out, and the head's cut off. And we weighed it by itself like this. It was 60 pounds. So we're guessing the fish was probably like 75 to 80 pounds total when it was whole and breathing. We're going to show you guys how to fillet it real quick. Take a couple of these sides off and show you how we like to do it here. Okay, so we're gonna take the big knife. We're just gonna come under. There's scales right here. There's really thick scales right here that suck to cut through with any other knife. You can see how like heavy they are. So if you start and cut through under those, it makes your next cuts a little bit nicer. And then we're gonna take these collars off because we're gonna smoke the collars. Okay, and then we're gonna come all the way up to the head. Take the first side of that collar off. Okay, and then the other thing we're going to do next is roll it. This fish is freaking huge. It's kind of heavy. We're going to take these bottom fins off right here, and we're going to join up that cut with that first collar, and so it's loose. Okay, and we're going to roll it all the way around. We're going to do that same thing where we went under these fins, or these scales, sorry. Go all the way to the top, cut it out. Then we got the collars off. There's part one. We're going to move this giant freaking fish, and you can see here, look at that belly. So that's the prize piece of bluefin right there. All the fatty lines in there. Look at these collars. So these collars are like one of my favorite pieces on the fish. They got a lot of flavor because they got a lot of fat in them. I'll show you here. But you see all the fat from the belly is still in there, and then just like right here, that's just pure fat. That's just tuna fat. It'll melt in your hand if you play with it long enough. So we're gonna cut these guys in half. We got a bag going. The only reason I'm wearing gloves is because we had 4 fish to do. I didn't feel like smelling like fish the rest of the day because it's 11 in the morning. There's our 2 collars. Nice pieces of fish. We're gonna save these guys and throw them whole in the smoker, or take the meat off with like a spoon and make rolls with them. So now we're gonna start on this back side here. So you wanna kinda, right here is really hard, and right here is super hard on the fish. So you wanna go kinda like above it And then give your knife some heat. And once you get on the other side of it, just angle it down because we're making a really shallow cut. So I angled it down like at a 45. And then it's not like completely through that cartilage yet, so you can go through and cut it one more time. All right. So we only went, you can see we only went like that deep on the knife. Now we're gonna switch knives to this one. It's got a little more flex. I can hit those bones in there and feel them. They're still a little stuck there. Another thing too, once you catch a big old fish like this, you want to take your time and do a good job filleting it. There's no point in going fast. You already did all the work. Might as well make it the nicest fillet possible so you get the most meat out of your fish and not mess it up right there like I just did. I can edit that out. Okay, so as you can see here, we're getting pretty close to the bones. It's a big freaking fish. And then I like to lift up with one hand and peel back with the other. You hear me skipping across those center bones. That's when I'm gonna stop. I'll turn the fish around. Okay, so now we got the belly. This is where they cut the guts out. So we're just gonna connect these two cuts. Just like that. So your meat's exposed. There's a little bit of guts in there. You take them out. That's why you wear the gloves. And then on this thing too, we're gonna. I like that, like a bigger knife that's not my super sharp fillet knife. When I cut the skin and stuff, so I'm not like completely just dulling it. It helps. Right here, you kind of have to go a little bit around that fin. And then once we're pretty deep in there, we can take our bubble blade. Go hit that tuna to the bones. I hope you guys can see that. See those bones? That's all we want to do. Just hit right on top of them. And then now we're going to go like this. One swift cut. You can even do it with that, like this small of a knife can get through those bones. Get you a pretty good cut. Okay. And then this is where it kind of gets tricky. So right here, because you got these weird bones that come right here. So if you hit it right here and go, and cut through them down, and separate those like weird rib bones, then when I pull these loins off, you'll see it's gonna come off right away. So tuna got 4 loins, one on the top, one on the bottom, on each side. It's like a halibut. So we're gonna come here. You can see this line right there. There's blood, and you can kind of see it faintly. The meat, and then right in there is like blood. So I take it right here. That's where I start it. You want to put some pretty good heat on your knife down, and go right down the middle, and all the way back. And just retrace your steps. Back. There's one loin. Filleted and off. The meat kind of is dark because it hasn't been oxidized yet, but I'll show you in a little while what's in the cooler, and it's been oxidized a little longer. It looks nice. So next thing we're gonna do too, we're gonna come on this other side of these bones. See, these are like full bones here. You can see them right there, but these are actually bones. So you don't want to try to cut through those with your knife. You can, but I don't like to, because I can just cut them off. And one nice cut, like that. Sometimes use your hand just to pull stuff apart. Okay. And then this side's ready to go too. So there's 2 loins. All right, so we got all 4 fillets off here. You can see they're pretty nice fillets. They're big. Like that's a big freaking fillet. We're gonna show you how to take some of these rib bones out here. I like to turn the knife around, just slide it up underneath them, like that. These ones at the top are kind of tricky, so just take your time. And then right here, there's sinew, and it goes right there, so you gotta cut through that. quickly if you want like a little sharper knife. I like the smaller knives for this. They just help because they can get in smaller places. And then I can fillet it better. So then there. These bones are tricky though because they are weird shaped. But that's the majority of them right there. And come back. And we're actually gonna, we'll just clean it out. Okay. This is your toro, your really fatty stuff. And then what I like to do, because I like to eat the toro separate, and like just serve that straight as sashimi and have that off my loins. And then the rest I steak or whatever and make poke out of it. But what I like to do with the toro, I'll just get all this crap off now. Just trim that piece. Because there's a little bit in there, but it's mainly just like extra fat and stuff. What I like to do is I like to cut this belly piece off. So you can kind of see where it starts to change right in here. And then this is kind of where its butt was. I like to go from here and straight down. So you reach that skin. And in one piece, we're off there. There's a little bit of blood. That's pretty nice there. That toro. Fatty. Alright. And then there's some bones here that we need to get rid of too. Or a little bit of cartilage and bloodline we need to get rid of. Alright guys, so we are smoking some bluefin now. So we cut into chunks here, you can see the pieces. This batch just came off the smoker. And then we brush it with some of the glaze afterwards. And it makes it really shiny and nice. And then we brined it. So what we did is 4 cups of brown sugar to 3/4 cups of salt, kosher salt, and some garlic powder mixed in there. And it kind of gives it a really nice flavor. It glazes it really well, and we cured it overnight. So this is probably like 16 hours cured. You could do anywhere from like 12 to 24 is good. And then you just throw it on the racks like this, and we'll take you out there and show you. But then you can see here, it releases all its water, the tuna, and that's how you know it's ready to go and cured. We throw it on the smoker, and then after that, we vacuum seal it and make it into packages like this. And we're giving these to friends and family. We got packages going there. Let's go outside. Alright, so we're gonna start loading this fish onto the smoker. So you can see here, they're nice pieces. This is what it looks like before it gets on the smoker. And so we're just loading it on the rack. This is an electric smoker. So it's not a huge, like really controlled, it's not a cold smoke, so it's a hot smoker. So it smokes it pretty fast. So we're trying to throw these batches on quick here. It's set on like a medium-high heat because there's just a huge volume of fish we're putting on here. But this smokes in like 40 minutes, 35 minutes, depending on what heat you have it on. And then we're done. So we'll fill this rack, put the next one on top of it. But it's pretty simple. It's kind of fun. It comes out really good though. It's a really simple recipe too. If you have any questions too, you can just always leave us a comment and we'll respond quickly to it. But it's just how we just like to do it. That is quick. You can also do, if you put jalapenos in there too, that's really good. Adds a little bit of heat, but not too much. And then the belly pieces too are really good smoked. That's my favorite piece smoked. Like this here. This is actually a piece of the collar. And we just cut some of those bigger collars into pieces. And we're gonna smoke those for a while. Just let them cook away. There we go, it's pretty simple. This is our last batch. We've done 3 batches, this is our 4th. And we've just eaten so much tuna in the last couple days. It's good. So there's one batch, and we'll get the rest on and then show you when it's done, and show you how to vacuum seal it.
Alright, so I let Dawn handle all the easy stuff, the cooking. My job is to vacuum seal these fish and make sure that they don't go bad. So just get one of these bags here, special vacuum sealer bags. Just grab a few pieces of fish, chuck them in there. It's kind of an art to it. You want about 4 pieces in there. Give them a little bit of space, so that way they, when the air gets sucked out, they all kind of just nicely come together. There you go. So now you come over here to the vacuum sealer, just open it up, put the opening of the bag right in this little crack here, close it, switch it to operate, moist, vac seal, and everything just gets sucked out. Pretty cool. And just wait for the seal to properly seal, and that's it.